title echoes in the hollow. It started with old Mr. Hemlock, found face down in his prize-winning petunia patch. The sheriff, a man named Brody who smelled permanently of stale coffee and regret, called it an accident, a fall. But something felt it off. Then Martha Peterson, the town librarian, discovered floating in the creek. Same time of death, same unsettlingly serene expression. WTF? Elias Thorne, a freelance journalist scraping by on forgotten histories, arrived in Silent Hollow a week later, drawn by the whispers. Silent Hollow was aptly named. It clung to the edge of Blackwood Forest, a place locals avoided like the plague. The air itself felt heavy, thick with a silence that pressed against your eardrums. I started digging into the local legend, the Weaver. The Weaver, an ancient being trapped in the forest centuries ago, said to be a master of illusion and despair. Legend had it the Weaver feeds on the memories and souls of those who wander too deep into Blackwood. Brody dismissed it as folklore, a spooky story to scare tourists. But the coroner's report, it was bizarre. No signs of struggle. No obvious wounds. Just emptiness. I spent days interviewing the townsfolk. Mostly tight-lipped, evasive stares. Except for Silas Blackwood, the last descendant of the family who originally trapped the Weaver. He was a recluse, living in a crumbling mansion at the forest edge. He confirmed the legend, his voice raspy with age and fear. The Weaver doesn't kill, he whispered, his eyes wide with a terrifying certainty. It remembers. I followed Silas's directions, venturing into Blackwood. The trees were impossibly tall, blocking out the sun. The air grew colder, and I started experiencing flashes. Not memories of my own, but fragments of others. A child's laughter, a lover's touch, a soldier's last breath. It was overwhelming. I realized the Weaver wasn't just feeding on souls, it was actively reconstructing them, pulling memories from the deceased and weaving them into illusions, trapping them within the forest. Brody, Martha, Mr. Hemlock, they weren't dead. They were present, trapped in a loop of their own lost moments. I found Brody standing in a clearing, staring blankly at a petunia. He repeated the same phrase over and over, "It's beautiful, so beautiful." I tried to pull him away, but he didn't respond. I knew I had to break the cycle, to sever the Weaver's connection. I raced back to Silas's mansion, determined to find a way to banish the creature. I found an old ritual, a prayer inscribed on a crumpling parchment, a plea for remembrance, for release. As I began to recite the prayer, the forest pulsed with an unearthly energy. The illusions intensified, swirling around me, threatening to consume me. I felt the Weaver's presence, called an ancient. Just as I finished the last word, a blinding light erupted from the forest. When I could see again, the illusions were gone.